Hi, this is Julie with Beadaholique, and in this video, I'm going to teach you how to make a diamond bead beaded bead. So it is a mouthful, and this is what it looks like. So you see it's a three-dimensional beaded bead, and we are going to make it entirely with diamond beads, and we're going to use 3 different colors. And what's nice about this project is you don't need any other bead. And to complete it, I simply strung a little bit of beading chain through the opening here, the little gaps, and then I finished it off with these little crimp beads with loops and a clasp. So a very easy way to turn it into a wearable piece of jewelry. So like I mentioned, we're going to be using diamond beads. These are check glass beads. They have 2 holes in them, and they are 4 millimeters by 6 millimeters in size. And you can see that they have a very nice slim profile. So for this particular project, I am using 3 colors. I'm going to be using, we can see on the tube here, a polychrome indigo orchid. I'm going to be using a metallic suede pink, and I'm going to be using a turquoise. And I thought it'd be fun. I'm actually going to be doing the reverse of this. So instead of having the turquoise on the outside, I'm going to put it on the inside to see what it would look like. So you can really mix and match and play around with your color combos, even within your 3 colors. Besides your 3 diamond beads, you're going to need a needle, as well as some stringing material. I'm going to be using Fireline Black and in the 6-pound weight. And then your only tool is going to be a pair of scissors. And I did lay out a couple of the other colors of the diamond beads just to show you that there's quite a range, so you could pick any 3 colors that you like. Like, I just think this beautiful deep blue would be so pretty with purple, and then you could really brighten it up with a little bit of silver. You can just start having fun. You can even put gold with it and see how that changes it. Just so many different lovely color combos that you can do. So really play around and have fun, and like I mentioned, it only takes 3 colors to make this bead. So how do you make it? Okay, it's actually a lot easier than what it looks like. If you've done a beaded bead before, you know that some use a 2 needle method and one a single needle method, or some use a single needle method. I'm going to be doing the single needle method, and I've strung on about 4 feet of my fire line here, and I have not tied a knot, so that's key too. Like I said, I want to do the reverse just to see what it's going to look like. I think it could be really interesting. So I'm going to string onto my needle 10 of the turquoise colored diamond beads. Now, if you've worked with 2-hole beads before, you know that sometimes you have to pay attention to which hole you go in. Sometimes one side is like a little curved and the other is flat, or there's a right and a left side to it. These are identical on both sides, which is really nice. You don't have to pay attention to which hole you pick them up with. So let's see, I've got 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. All right, so I've got my 10 beads on there. 2, 3, 4, 5, yep. Okay, pull them down towards your tail. You want to have a tail of about at least 8 inches so that you're going to be able to weave it in later. Just loop it around, and you're going to tie a simple overhand knot and pull those into a circle. Now you're going to go back and do a double knot. So you're just going to go through a couple times. And pull that nice and tight. And if you want, you can even do 1 more knot for good measure. You're just securing it. Okay, after you've done that, you're going to be working now with the side that has the needle on it. And what I like to do is I like to go through a couple beads, and I'm going to go through that original hole that I went through to begin with. Okay, so I just went through a couple beads, and now I'm going to jump up to the next hole. So if we see the side profile here, I'm literally just going to create a thread bridge and jump up to that next hole. Okay, so you see how that looks. And now between every bead, I'm going to add another color. So since I want to do the reverse, I think I'm going to, well, I have a choice here. I could either do the purple one here, the kind of pinky purple like I have here, or I could do the blue. I think it could be interesting to do the blue. It'll make it look, well, the blue then will be on the outside. So this is part of the design process, and it's a lot of fun. Maybe I'll do the purpley pink and then only reverse the blue and the turquoise in this design. So let's just pick up this color and really play with it. Do whatever you like. You can even make a solid color one. That would work too. So I just added one, came out the next hole here, and then I'm just going over to the next diamond bead, that top upper hole. And I'm just going to work my way all the way around, just adding that one bead between each. We're going to add our last bead, and we're going to go through that hole. We're also going to go back through that first purple bead we added, as well as, you can do one at a time, or you could try to make your needle go through all of them. Here, let's just do a couple at a time here. Okay, so we're going to go back through that first purple bead, the same hole, and then you want to go through another top turquoise and another bottom hole of the purple. This allows you to just tighten up your work a little bit. So now that we're a little bit a ways from this original knot, what I like to do is just take my needle off of my thread, string it back onto my tail, and I want to get rid of this tail at this point. I don't want to have to think about it. Just going to go ahead, put the needle back on that tail, go through one of the bottom turquoises, and I catch it under one of my thread bridges. Just tie another little knot. Go through another thread bridge. You can go through a couple if you want. And then just snip it. If you have a thread zap or some type of thread burner, you can use that for this too. But now we don't have to think about this extra tail. So now we're going to go back up to our original main strand here, a fire line. Rethread our needle. And now you remember you're exiting that bottom purple bead with the hole. So now we're just going to jump up to the top again, the same way we did with the turquoise. There's just going to be a little discreet thread bridge there. Okay, so we've got 2 rows done, and now we need to do the 3rd row. So to do that, we want to add 2 diamond beads, and now we're going to use this pretty blue color. So pick up 2. And then go through the top hole of the next diamond bead over. And remember, it doesn't matter which hole you go through for these diamond beads when you pick them up, so you don't have to worry about that. They're going to lay great either way. And if you want, you can also flip your beadwork so that you're going this way. It depends if you're left or right-handed as to which one is a little bit more comfortable for you. It does not matter. Okay, we're just going to go all the way around, picking up 2 beads at a time. I was pleasantly surprised at how quick and easy this bead came together. It's one of those things that you have in your mind of like, oh, this is going to work. Yeah, this will work. And then it's actually a little bit of a surprise when it does. It's like, oh, that was not very hard. Okay, just 2 more, and then we've finished that outer row. Okay, so again, you're going to want to go through a couple more beads over. So just retrace your thread path. And you want to be exiting one of the outer row beads. Okay, so this is what we have right now. So if you notice on the sample piece here, we're actually going to now make the other side identical to the front side. And to do that, we're essentially folding these beads over. So go ahead and you're going to jump up again and go through that top hole of both of those beads and create that little discrete thread bridge. Okay, and since we're mimicking, both sides are going to be identical, we need to pick up another of whatever your middle color bead is. And for me, it is this purple color, and it's just one. And then go through the top holes of this outer row of beads. And you're going to do that all the way around. I feel like this is a design that you can really play with and probably expand upon. You can add seed beads. You can probably make this quite a bit larger. You could do something where you can do a really cool like bead cap where you don't fully turn it into a beaded bead. Okay, so you see as I'm pulling it, it's curving and it's pulling it together. Okay, last one to add. Okay, so remember, again, go through a couple extra ones, retracing your thread path. And you want to exit one of the outer edge beads. Okay, we're ready to re-add our center beads again. So again, just jump up to that top hole. There we go. Okay, and now we're ready to add a turquoise bead. And don't worry if they're a little loose right now. You're going to cinch them up in the end. All the way around, just adding a turquoise bead. Okay, last turquoise bead, and this is the last bead that we're adding for our beaded bead. Okay, so go through that purple one, the turquoise one one of the turquoise ones that you started with, another purple one. Go through another turquoise one because you always end and exit on the last, one of the beads on the outer row. Okay, so now we just need to bring these all together. So we're going to jump up now to that last hole on that turquoise bead. And pull your beadwork if you can, a little bit tighter right now. What you can also do is grab that little thread bridge with your needle, pull it. There you go. Now we're going to go all the way around. Now this might be a little hard to show on camera because what I did to get these end beads exposed, their little holes, was I held it like this, almost like a little jellyfish, and I looked underneath it. So I'll try to do as best as I can to show you, but I do find it easier if you let gravity kind of help you on this one. But we just want to go through that last hole on all the turquoise beads. And just let it be loose right now. It'll make it easier. Okay, come on, little hole, there you are. Okay, last bead. Okay, and then go through a couple more that you've already gone through. And now on this one, what you can do is you can just pull it nice and tight. So now it's all cinched up. And you can tie a knot. So you can go through a couple more beads if you want. We've already gone through a couple. Woo! All right, now we're going to tie a knot. So slip under your thread bridge. Make a little loop. Go through that loop with your needle and pull tight. All right, and our knot did not end up how I wanted it, so this is a perfect example to show you what to do in case that happens, because we do want this nice and tight. So I ended up with a little bit of extra thread right there. Go through a couple more beads. And we're going to go all the way around. That was a weird thing to happen, but I'm glad it happened because that does happen in bead weaving sometimes. Your thread just catches and creates a little extra bit of like a large loop. There you see, it's almost gone because we're just going through one more time. That will probably not happen to you, but if it does, now you know what to do. All right, so now it's tight again and clean. Let's see if we can do this a little bit better. Okay. There we go. It's a nice tight knot. Go through it again. And if you still want it to be a little bit more secure, you can go through to another spot. And then I would just weave your tail in a little bit before you trim it. But we are done with this guy. And I'm quite curious to put him side by side with the original one. Okay, just trim your thread. And then let's see what we've got. So there is the same beaded bead, same color palette, just done in the reverse order. And these again are diamond beads. They're Czech glass, and they are nice little 2-hole beads, very versatile, and you can make a bunch of these beaded beads or use them in your other projects. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial video. Please check out our other videos and don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel.